Graad 8, ons kyk na die huiswerk wat ek vir jou gegee het. Ons is in les 41. Die huiswerk was van oefening 12.7. The previous homework was on exercise 12.7. Question number 2 was the homework sum. Wat sien jy? What do you see? Triangles. And triangles add up to 180 the angles. In 'n driehoek tel die hoeke op na 180 grade toe. So that's point number 1 that you get from your toolbox. Another thing is, when you've got lines crossing each other, straight line adds up to 180, straight line adds up to 180. Nog 'n ding, behalwe vir die reguit lyn wat 180 is, wat se goed is daai? That angle and that angle, what do we call them? Vertically opposite angles. Toolbox, toolbox, toolbox. The first question was to find NSO. NSO. This is the first question. NSO. Jy weet, juffrou het al vir jou gesê, ek wil graag die goeders name noem en byvoorbeeld sê dis 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you did it yourself, gaan jy mos nou nie presies dieselfde as ek gebruik het nie. You would have maybe numbered it differently, and that's fine. That's why usually in an exam, I will give you the specifics. I will give them as 1, 2, 3, 4, so that you don't have to worry, your 1 is my 4 and whatever. So, as jy homself hoef te nommer, dan mag jy dit nommer, gewoonlik het ons al die goedjies genommer. So, ek wil eintlik hierso weet wat is S1, and you can call it NSO, that's fine. So, maar wat wil hulle dan eintlik gehad het? They wanted you to see, dit is regoorstaande hoeke, vertically opposite angle. So, this angle here should be 75. Reguit gevra is dat S1 or NSO is the same as S3, which was 75. Nou as jy nie skryf S1 is S3 wat 75 is nie, net geskryf S1 is 75 is dit reg. It's good to see. It's because those two are equal to each other. En jou rede is regoorstaande hoeke, vertically opposite angles are equal to each other. Rede. 1, 1. Something that they did tell me there in words, because when I sketched it, was going to say to you, this looks like it's 90, but it's not if they don't tell me so. Hierdie lyk of dit 90 is, maar dit is nie tensy hulle vir my so sê nie. Maar toe sê hulle dit, they did say MO, but they didn't write it like this. So ek wil hê jy moet mooi kyk hoe hulle dit gesê. If you say A, B, C, D like that, what does it mean? You must know the notation means parallel. But if I write this little symbol, dan beteken dit loodreg. That is the symbol for being perpendicular. So they sit on each other 90 degrees. So when I've got two lines A, B, C, D that are perpendicular to each other, that's the way I'll write it. Onthou daar's baie nuwe goedjies wat jy in wiskunde gaan leer om te skryf. Ek glo jy het al die loodregheid gesien. Maybe you haven't seen the perpendicular sign yet. Now you know. So they told me in words that MO is perpendicular to NR. MO-NR, which means that this has to be 90. Well, that's also going to be 90 then, right? Want is mos nou 'n reguit lyn. So sy loodreg is gaan albei kante 90 wees. You don't have to show both, but you can. But they told me MO and NR are perpendicular, although they didn't write it that way. Nou jy sommer iets bygeleer. Goed, so nou weet ek dat daai twee hoekies is gelyk aan mekaar en ek is klaar met nommer 1. Make sure that you answer all the questions. Then question 2.2 said find SNO. SNO would be that one there. Hoe sal jy daai hoekie kry? So al die ander kan jy ignoreer. You can just have a look at that triangle there. So that means if I add them all together, they must add up to 180, want dis 'n binnehoeke van 'n driehoeksommetjie. Jy kan al hierdie half ignoreer. Sien jy dis 90, 75, so ek short. Baie min, naamlik 15. I'm short 15 degrees. Again, if you want to say angle 1, angle 2, then you could say N1, which is SNO, is 15 degrees because Som van die binnehoeke van 'n driehoek. Sum of the interior angles of a triangle. Binnehoeke van 'n driehoek is 180. All the different ways of writing it. So dis die som van die binnehoeke van 'n driehoek en dis N S O is 180. Do I have to write that? Sum of the angles of a triangle is 180, or just sum of the angles of triangle NS? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's a good technique to always write the triangle's name, but you don't have to write it. Sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. That's why I got to 15 degrees. And if I called it N1, oops, yeah, I called it N1. I called it N2 there, so I've got to say the same thing here. But you can write it that way or that way, it doesn't matter. So long as wat jy dit reg doen, and remember that's a footnote, so in onderwees en onthou jou koppietjie. Jy kan nie maak soos jy wil nie. Jy moet reg skryf. You have to write the correct way. Good, and the last question they're asking me is NMO. Now where is NMO? N to O. They could have just said angle N. Hulle kon net gepraat het van hoek. En as jy nog wil praat van N1 of nog het ook doen, you can even write N1 if you want to. How would I then get that angle? So there's various ways again. One thing you could have done is said that this is a straight line and you could get that this is 105. As hy dan 105 is, kan ek ons met die binnehoeke van 'n driehoek hierso werk. In triangle MNS, in that triangle I can do the sum of the angles of a triangle. That's one way. Another way is to use the big, let's make it a red triangle. In the big red triangle, I know that this big red angle is 90. This will then be 52, 62 degrees. Want ek tel hulle bymekaar. And then I can use the big triangle to say that's 62 and that's 90. How much do I shoot for what? Ek sien jy dat daar alternatiewe altyd gaan wees. There will always be an alternative way. I think personally most kids would have said straight line, sum of the angles of this triangle. But can you see the other technique? That in the big red triangle, you have that angle because you add 47 and 15 together to get 62. And then you ignore this. So it's just the 62 and the 90 that gives me M's answer, which I must go work out. So jy kom dit nou alles skryf. As jy dit gehad het, moet jy vir my sê, die hele hoekie N. So MNO is 62. There's no reason you're adding. And then you would get M in the triangle. And dan sit 'n goeie ding dat jy hier skryf. Driehoek MNO. If you use that big red triangle, tell me it's the sum of the angles of triangle. MNO, so that the person marking can know what you've been thinking. Want ons gaan almal verskillend wees hierso. Can you see that there are 3 triangles? Klein driehoekie, groot driehoek. Smaller one, bigger one. There are 3 triangles and you can use any one of them. So, dit gaan nie help jy sê ag niks, die mekaar nie. You have to practice. No one gets it right the first time to do a heart transplant. You have to practice. Get the knowledge. Do the stuff correctly. Jy gaan nie net met wiskunde een keer kyk na die goed en alles reg kry nie. Wiskunde vat baie moeite, baie harde werk. Jy kan nie net niks doen en dink jy gaan dit reg kry nie. Goed. So practice makes perfect. As jy oefen kry jy dit reg. So kom ons sê juffrou het nie van hierdie 62 gebruik gemaak nie. I did not use the red triangle. I went for the one that most of you might have done. Om te sê dan is S2 gelijk aan. Because now I can find S2 easily with 105 degrees because it's a straight line. 'n reguit lyn. Dis my rede. And you can even write MSO is a straight line. MSO is a straight line. But you just need to write straight line, that's sufficient. Good. En as jy dit dan het, dan kan jy vir my sê, maar dan is M gelyk aan, en nou gaan ons eers met bymekaar gaan tel. Dit is 118, 180. That gives you 28. Yeah, because 90 is 180, yeah. So it's going to be 28 degrees. I didn't show where I added 105 and 47 together and then subtracted it from 180. Jy hoef dit nie te wys nie, but you can. Show me where it's 105 plus that gives me 152, and then I'm short 28, because your reason will tell me the sum of the angles of a triangle MNS is 180 degrees. Moet jy die naam van hom gee? Nee, jy hoef nie, maar dis 'n goeie idee om te sê waarmee is jy besig. So this was 28. So you did get M, and you did get SNO was is 2. Make sure when you finish, I did get everything that was asked. So again, and I'm going to say it 7 million times, alternative, alternative, alternative. Goed, so daar was baie ander maniere ook. En as jy sukkel, vra vir jou juffrou of jou meneer, ek het hom so geskryf, is dit ook reg, dat hulle jou kan reg help. Goed. Your tweede huiswerksel was number 3. This was your second homework sum. It looks like a kite, and they said it was a kite. No, they didn't. They didn't say it was a kite, so you can't assume all the rules of a kite. But they do say that angle P is twice angle R. So if R is X, then angle P must be 2x, and that was the first question. Nou, luister mooi na die woorde. Druk die volgende in terme van x uit. What does it mean? Express in terms of x. So your answer must have a x in it. Jou antwoord moet 'n x in hom hê as jy dit uitdruk in terme van x. Jy kan nie nou besluit dis x, so dis A en B en C en al die alfabetletters nie. You can't decide if this is x, you call this y, z, k, whatever. They say express it in terms of x. So you've got to have an x in there. And this is what they said. P is twice R. 2 times R. 2 keer x is 2x. So the first question was that. No reason. It's given that P is equal to 2 times R. So if you really want to, you can write given. Dit was gegee dat daai twee gelyk is aan mekaar, so jou rede as jy regtig wil kan jy sê is gegee. En dan dieselfde met S. Hulle het vir my gesê dat S is niks hier gegee nie, maar hulle het gesê Q is gelyk aan 3 keer P. So if Q is 3 times P, kyk mooi, because it can be confusing, Q is 3 times what P is, but you just found out that P was 2x. So 3 times that, 3 maal dit gee vir my 6x, is jy met my? En nou wat is S dan? Want as hierdie ding 'n vleer was, if this was a kite, then this should have been equal to each other. As dit 'n vleer is, moet dit gelyk wees aan mekaar, maar dit is nie gegee, it's not given as a kite. In a kite, these two angles where the unequal sides equal each other, connect with each other, should be equal. Not these, but these should be in a kite. In a kite, those two will always be equal, not those two, with these shorter side and longer sides. Maar dis nie 'n vleer nie. Don't assume if they don't tell you. So as dit nou nie 'n vleer is nie, hulle sê vir my, dit is 'n vleer. Ag my genigtig tog. Okay, maar ek gaan in elk geval doen wat ek wou gedoen het. So in a kite, what do you know? That the opposite angles should be equal to each other. So met ander woorde, dan gaan S gelyk wees aan Q, wat ook gelyk is aan 6x. Thank heavens I did read again, because they did tell me that it was a kite. I missed that completely. Hierdie is 'n vleer. So in a kite, given, eventually the name also saw that, in a kite, those two angles should be equal. Now how must you know that? You should be learning your properties of your quadrilaterals. We started off with that. Things that you've been knowing from forever. Know that they should be equal to each other. Nou dis weer eens, S in terme van X. S in terms of X. That was the question. So 1. Now why was that equal to each other? Because it's opposite angles of a kite. And if you just say kite, for grade 8 it should be sufficient. As jy net gesê het want dis 'n vleer, dan is jou rede genoeg gewees. Nou wanneer jy dit vir x gaan uitwerk, how will I work out x? And now this is the basics of every geometry sum. When I add all of them together, what will I get? Hierdie is nie 'n driehoek nie, maar dis 'n vierhoek. Just like knowing that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180, you must know that the sum of the interior angles of a kite is 360. So jy kan vir my sê 2x plus 6x plus x plus 6x gee vir my 360, I almost right 180. Because that's the sum of the angles of a quad is 360. Net soos wat jy altyd sê, die som van die binnehoeke van 'n driehoek is 180, sê jy nou die som van die binnehoeke van 'n vierhoek is 360 grade, bly sê 180. En nou sit jy weer met 'n watse ding, 'n vergelyking. So if I add, I get 8, 12, 13, 15. Am I right? Because how do I add? Algebra. Add the coefficients 6 and 1, and 6 and 2 gives me 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15, x. So how will I get x now? Volgende stap van die vergelyking, dan moet jy mos nou deel deur 15 en deel deur 15, en hoeveel is 360 gedeel deur 15? Gee vir my 24. So x equals 24. Done. I've done the sum. 24. So dis vir die vergelyking, vir die rede, vir die antwoord. Then they asked me, now please tell me what is p's value. So p was 2 times x, so it's 2 times 24, which is 48. En as jy dit nie gewys het nie, dadelik die antwoord het, is dit reg. En q dan is 6 keer x, so it's 6 times 24, and what is 24 times 6? 144. Vir nog 'n punt. Goed. Then we are at the revision test at the end of theme number 12. Einde van die eenheid is daar so 'n hersieningstoetsie. Jy moet vir my 3 en 4 gedoen het. Number 3 says, I've got this. So, parallel lines, nie daar's nie ewewydige lyne nie. Driehoeke, yes, they are triangles. What type of triangles? We still got to find out if the sides are equal, if the lines are equal to each other, if the angles are equal to each other, to say it's an acute angle triangle or an obtuse angle triangle, gelykbenige driehoek, ongelykbenige driehoek, gelyksydige driehoek, skerphoekige driehoek, dis al die soorte driehoeke, maar ek het 'n driehoek. En in 'n driehoek weet ek dat die binnehoeke van 'n driehoek is 180 en ek weet dat die buitehoek van 'n driehoek is gelyk aan die som van die oorstaande binnehoeke. This, if I wanted to get, let me just see what they're asking, STR, they're looking for this one. STR. This is the one that they're looking for. Again, I would like to say number 1, 2, 3, 4 there. T1, T2, T3. So that I can weet as ek nou hierdie eenetjie wil gaan kry. But this is not the exterior angle of the triangle. Remember, exterior angle is only when I take one of the sides and lengthen them. That one is equal to these two added. So if it was 20 and 30, this would be 50. 'n buitehoek is net as ek een van die sye en dit kan enige sy wees, langer trek, dan gee dit vir my 'n buitehoek en hy's gelyk aan die som van die oorstaande binnehoeke. But you've got to get it right. That's not an exterior angle. Dis nie die buitehoek nie. Daai is wel reg oorstaande hoeke, maar dis nie 'n buitehoek nie. Just as well, I could have said lengthen that one. That's still an exterior angle if I take any one of the sides and lengthen it. Right. Just the same here. Lengthen that one, lengthen that one, lengthen that one, lengthen that one. And you don't lengthen it, they will give it to you. Net dat ons kan seker maak jy weet wat se buitehoek. Alright, so this is not an exterior angle. But this would be equal to T3. But T3 I can get with the sum of the angles of a triangle. So eerste ding wat jy gaan sê is dat T3 is gelyk aan as ek sê 180, trek af daai waardes. Now guys, especially in grade 8, it could be a good idea for you to say, it's 180 minus if you add 16 and 36 together. So jy kan 16 en 36 by mekaar tel en dit aftrek van 180 af en dan kry jy 128 grade. So that angle there would be 128 degrees. Meaning that this is going to be 128 because they are vertically opposite angles, regoorstaande hoeke. So as daai dan 128 is, what is my reason? So this is the sum of the angles of a triangle, and triangle PQT if you want to is 180, som van die hoeke van 'n driehoek PQT. Dit is nie regtig nodig om die driehoek 'n naam te gee nie, want daar was net een. There's only one triangle, so you don't really need to name the name because there wasn't a confusion. Right. So vir die feit dat dit 180 is en die feit dat ek die rede gegee het binnehoeke, dis waarvoor die punte gaan. So jy weet hy, now they didn't ask me for that, but I had to get it to say, therefore, the angle that they actually were asking me was T1. Do you understand? T1 is STR. This one is actually T1. So whether you write it that way, it's fine. So T1 would be the same as T3. En wat is jou rede hoekom T1 en T3 dan gelyk is aan mekaar? Want hulle is regoorstaande hoeke. They are vertically opposite angles. Goed, so dit sal binnehoeke van 'n driehoek en redes gewees. Everything you write down must have a reason. Now dit was 3.1. Now I didn't write it this time guys, but you know I've said to you, sketch, say it's to prove, write down the statement, die bewering, and the reason, die rede, every time. Ma'am doesn't always do it on the board, but I do it in that column, do you see? So afterwards you can put it in there. Die tweede vraag vra PTS. PTS, it's this one that they're asking me. So now again, you can go say straight line. Or exterior, is this an exterior angle? One of the lines has been extended. Hier is 'n buitehoek want die lyn is verleng. So jy praat die hele tyd van alternatiewe want ons is nie almal dieselfde nie. You must know that you and your friend will not always do the sums precisely the same. I think the easiest way was just saying it's a straight line. So I'm short 52 degrees to make up a straight line of 180. Ek dink dit was die vinnigste geweest om te sê dat T4, wat daai vraag is, this is T4, which you can write in any which way, would be 52 because it's a straight line. Want is 'n reguit lyn. So jy het die keuses gehad. Of jy kon gesê, just daai twee bymekaar. Is it those two added together? 16 and 36 equals 52. Dan was jou rede hier. Hy's 52 because exterior angle of a triangle. So your reason could just as well have been exterior angle of a triangle. Jou laaste huiswerksommetjie was a trapezium. It was given a trapezium, and on the sketch they did put in the one pair of parallel lines. And a trapezium is een paar sye moes altyd ewe weilig. So dan moes jy dit self ingesit het as dit nie daar was nie. If they didn't put it there, you should have put it in there. So parallel lines are available. Driehoeke, yes, there are triangles galore here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kan jy sien, mens kan baie van hulle gebruik. Again, with the name calling. If it's PRO, don't you think we should have R1, 2, 3, 4? En hulle soek vir MNP. So maybe we should have it be N1. MRP gaan weer R4 wees wat ek gaan soek. So you can always go and call these things names, not Yanni and Sunny, but you can call them names. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if I do that and you've done it the other way around, it's fine. If yours is 2, 1, it's fine. Just make sure that you don't get confused with yours and with mine when I do it on the board now. So, eerste dinge is, ek soek vir R1. So, if I'm looking for R1, watter feit wil hulle hier toets? What fact am I testing to get R1? This is a triangle. So, in hierdie driehoek, watter feit toets hy? Binnehoeke van 'n driehoek is 180 grade. So, again, write down statement, reason, bewering, rede. So vir daai eerste enetjie om vir R1 te kan kry. How will I get it? 180 minus the 30 and the 26. If you want to show it, it's fine. 180 minus 30 minus the 26 because it's the sum of the angles. And there's so many triangles, maybe we should say triangle PRO. Dis die binnehoeke van 'n driehoek wat 180 grade is. Maar dan moet ek nog die antwoord neerskryf. If you didn't write that step, it's fine. 180 minus the 56, which those two add up to is 124. So this one should be 124. Done. Maak seker jy antwoord jou vraag. Make sure you answer every question that's been asked. Number 4.2 said I must find N1. N1. How will I find N1? Sien jy die fun and games, people? I have N1. Not equal to anything. Triangle is not going to work for me. It's all about the parallel lines. So in parallel lines, what do you know? If I have two parallel lines, then that N1 there is going to be equal to this P1 over here. Sien jy dat dit dieselfde sketsie is? It's just longer lines. You should see the Z or the N if you turn it on its side. There goes the Z. Sien jy dat daai hoekie en daai hoekie gelyk is aan mekaar? So this one and this one will be equal, so making it 30. Maar jy moet dit soek om dit te kan kry. You must be looking for alternate and corresponding and co-interior angles. Those are called co-interior ones. They add up to 180, they're not equal. Daai is jou co-binnehoeke, hulle is nie gelyk nie, hulle tel op na 180. Hierdie tweetjies wat ons nou van gepraat het is verwisselend. Sien jy? Links onder, but man, there's no left bottom. There would have been if you had drawn it longer, with that line cutting there longer. Left top, left bottom, right top. If you did draw it longer, this would have been the bottom right, top right, left bottom. Sien jy die verwisselende hoeke? It takes practice to see these things, that they are alternate angles. So met ander woorde dan sê ek, maar N1 is net so groot soos P1. So I'm making the connection that everybody can see which are equal, which is 30. Want dit is verwisselende hoeke. Alternate angles. Mark gone if you don't tell me that it's MN parallel to P. O, not PQ, P. O. Maak seker jy gooi nie daai puntjie weg nie. Done. Then I want R4. So how will I find R4? Well, I could have done that right after this one. Jy hoef nie eers daai te gedoen het om by hierdie derde uit te kom nie. How will I get that answer there? By saying straight line or exterior angle equals the sum of the opposite interior ones. Dis presies dieselfde as die vorige sommetjie. Jy kan weer sê reguit lyn of jy kan sê maar tel hierdie bymekaar. If you add these together, what do you get? 56. And if you add them now, it's 180. So whether you use straight line or exterior angle equals the sum of the opposite interior, it's fine. Alternatief. So in other words, R4, whichever way you did it was 56. Your reason can be exterior angle of a triangle or straight line. Reguit lyn. Maar jy kan net sowel buitehoek van 'n driehoek gebruik om te sê, hy is die buitehoek, kan kyk daar gaan daai driehoekie langer. Side extended, so that's an exterior angle equals the sum of the opposite interior angles. Homework. Just after that exercise we've just done, it says, almost in the middle of the book, it says half year practice exam. In that, there's a number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 21. Number 21 has 6 questions. You do all 6 of them. Die halfjaar oefeneksamen wat daar in jou handboek is, net na die oefening waarmee ons nou besig was, doen jy vir my nommer 21, daar 6 van hulle, 21.1, 2, 3, 4, 5 en 6 vir volgende keer.